Tonight I learned two things. I learned how Norm from Cheers must have felt every time he walked in the bar, and I also learned that looser is better when it comes to holding somebody down in side control. Let me tell you what I mean. Tonight was class number 19, the hook sweep and the standing guillotine defense. And if you know this class, you know that if you do the standing guillotine defense, you land pretty much in side control. And with Hidon and Sam teaching the class, of course, we had a little bit of extra fun, a little bit of effort holding each other down, trying to roll each other through, trying to bench press the other guy off. And Hidon even took a volunteer, my boy Arthur from the audience. He didn't really volunteer. He tried to volunteer me. He said, yeah, Chris will do it. And then Hidon, like any good leader would, pick the guy who tried to volunteer somebody else. So hell yeah. So Hidon went with Arthur, who is a big, strong guy, and to prove and to show the confidence in side control, because Arthur is big and strong and can probably bench press a hell of a lot more than Hidon weighs. But of course, he wasn't able to get Hidon off of him in side control, and that was the lesson. And one of the things that Hidon said was, of course, when you're super tight, it's almost easier to move you. Now, me being a big guy, I got more weight than most people, so if I'm tight and I'm heavy, it's hard to move me. But for most people, if they're average size and they're tight and heavy, they're easier to move around. And I experienced that with my second training partner tonight. His name is Josh. Josh and I were training, and Josh was much easier to move around when he was tight, much harder to move around when he was that loose, wet blanket kind of a vibe. So next time you're trying to hold and retain side control, try loose is better than tight, unless you have a distinct, considerable freaking weight advantage. And so that was one thing that we got to talk about and learn and play with and experience tonight. Of course, it's not really new for me, but it's kind of new for me because my weight is always an asset. And so I don't have to worry about that too much. Anyhow, the second thing that I learned today is, man, I have not been here for a couple of days because I had back to school night. I had a couple things going on, family things. And so I think my last class was a week ago. It was like Monday. And then yesterday, of course, they're closed for Labor Day. So a lot of things going on. I haven't been here in a while. And so when I walked in, I guess a week, that's not too crazy. But I walk in, everyone's like, hey, Chris. And I felt like freaking Norm at Cheers. If you don't know Cheers, Google it, kids. But Cheers was a show about a bar, I'll just tell you. And there were a couple of people who were always regulars at the bar. One of them, his name was Norm. And every time Norm walked into the bar, they all went, Norm! And it was played by George Wendt. I think he's still with us, I'm not sure. But it was a cool show back in the 80s. Anyhow, I walk in, everybody's like, Chris! And it was kind of a cool vibe because it's been a little while and I just love the people that I train with. And I know I said this in the last video that community is everything, but yeah, community is everything. Community is everything. I didn't realize how much I miss it until I show up. And yeah, I was tired today. Yeah, I already worked out once today. Yeah, I dealt with a bunch of ninth graders today. Yeah, I had a bunch of meetings today, but I still showed up and I still got the work in, and it was a nice feeling because the people made it worthwhile. And so that reminds me, and it brings me to something I'm kind of hesitant to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I don't know if you're familiar with school. I mentioned it in the last video, but I created a school community based around some of the things that I've been doing. And I showed it to a few people, and most of them gave me some really positive feedback. Now, I'm not charging for it or anything, at least not yet. I mean, it's not free, so I guess if it takes off eventually, I will charge for it. But I'm kind of doing like a beta test right now. Really what it is, I'll just tell you. I've created this whole thing kind of after my 75 hard debacle. I did this thing where I kind of created my own version of 75 hard, and it's been working out famously. I'm dropping weight. I feel better than I ever have. I'm freaking sleeping well. And I showed it to a couple people and they're like, hell yeah, can I do this? Can you make me a copy? And I'm like, sure, I'll make you a copy. My wife is doing it. It's been kind of wild. And so I started this little online community based around this little thing that I call the Lionheart method. I'll explain it later if you really want me to. But the idea is you want to be consistent in these things, and we want to hold each other accountable. Without getting crazy, it's like a men's ministry without the religion, okay? The idea of having a bunch of guys who hold each other accountable and talk about what they're going through, their training, if they're jiu-jitsu guys or lifting or fitness or whatever. Because I got guys in my DMs, I got guys in the comments that are always telling me how their training is going. I got people that text me and call me and DM me about surgery they're having, babies they're having, people passing their tests, people studying, I was cramming, people studying for their test. It's weird because my DMs are always lit. They're always freaking active with people sharing their life and sharing their struggles and sharing their journey. And I'm like, why don't we just have a place for this? Why don't we have a place where we can all hang out and talk? Gracie University is fantastic. The locker room and being on the mats is cool. But as soon as we leave, we don't talk to each other anymore. So I was like, damn, What if I had a place where all these different people who are DMing me or leaving comments on YouTube could hang out and talk, and we could hold each other accountable to whatever our fitness goals are? And it's a little bit deeper than that, because I created like little challenges and stuff. I know it's cheesy, but little challenges every month to overcome. So I could talk to my buddy Arthur, let's say, and say, hey dude, it's September and we're gonna do the blah, blah, blah challenge, right? Or it's March, we're gonna do the St. Patrick's Day challenge, whatever. So I created this thing because I'm a nerd, and because I like systems, and because I like lists, and I think it's pretty cool. So here's what I'm doing. I'm giving a few of my friends free access for 60 days. I'm beta testing the thing, I guess. Makes me sound like some kind of software tech guy. I'm not a software tech guy, but I'm beta testing this thing to see if it works and if it's popular, because the 6 or 7 people I've talked to said they're really excited about it, and we're gonna see if other people are excited about it. So let me ask you this. If you think you could benefit from a community with guys and girls, it's not just guy exclusive, but guys who train or who are trying to lose weight or are trying to get a better job or enhance their career or go back to school or whatever the hell it is you're doing and you're struggling with. If you're watching this channel, you probably train jiu-jitsu. If you think you would like to be in a community like that, where you can do little challenges and talk a little smack and have a little fun, let me know, because I will add you as a beta tester. As a matter of fact, put a wave in the comments, because it's the first wave of beta testers. I'm just gonna call it the first wave. So if you want to be part of the first wave, put a wave emoji in the comments, and I don't know, I guess you could DM me on social media at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe I should create an email address for this. Anyway, you could send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok, or if you want to email me, I'll have to put an email in the comments or something. Maybe check the description and I'll put an email in there, and you can email me if you want to be part of the beta test. But if you put a wave in the comments, I'll know you're interested, and I will send you a link, or I'll send you an email address or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, let's just do that. Put a wave in the comments and I'll send you a link, and you can join and we'll see how it goes. And again, nobody's trying to get rich. I think if and when I charge for it, I'm going to charge like $9 a month, or like $50 for the year. Basically $1 a week. Hell, less than $1 a week. And I'm not selling anybody. I'm not getting rich off of this crap. I have a job. It's not that kind of party. I just felt like when I'm not here on the mat, I still want that community. I still like that feeling of holding each other accountable and making each other work and talking and being friends. I mean, I'm an old church guy, right? I don't know if you guys know that. I used to work in the church, and I love church, but I don't really like religion. I hope that doesn't make anybody offended. I love church. I love the church experience, but I'm not exactly cool with organized religion at this point. So it's kind of like a men's ministry without all the religion. It's all the community, all the fun. It's holding each other accountable. It's helping us grow and helping us, achieve our goals, be a better husband, be a better father, all those things, but without the organized religion aspect. I probably lost everybody by this point. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Hold loosely when you're in side control, not tight, and you'll do better. Obviously have fun when you're training. I talked a lot of trash tonight about everything from the Lakers versus Celtics to somebody talking trash about my mama. You know how we do when we're doing our defensive moves. We gotta provoke the guy and try to talk him down. But yeah, felt like Norm at Cheers. Had a good time, really love the community, and which is why I built my thing called Project Lionheart. That's what it's called, Project Lionheart. And if you want to be a beta tester, drop a wave emoji in the comments and I'll send you a link. Or you can hit me up on social media at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. So now that I've rambled for so long, hopefully you got some value out of it. I need you to do 3 things. I need you to stay focused. I need you to stay positive, and I always need you to stay vigilant. See you next time.